Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Have you ever held a quarter in your hand and wondered, what if this tiny piece of metal could change my life forever? Well, today you're about to discover one of the most extraordinary hidden treasures in American coin history, the 1997 D. Washington quarter dollar, a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable that collectors are offering up to $974,000 for one in pristine era condition. Now, I know what you're thinking, a 1997 quarter? That's modern. How could it possibly be worth nearly $1 million? And that's exactly where the story gets fascinating. Because this isn't just any coin. This is a minting miracle. A Denver Mint production that turned an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. Stay with me until the end, because by the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly how to identify if the quarter in your pocket could be worth more than your car, or even your home. And trust me, you won't want to miss what I'm about to reveal next. Let's go back to 1997, a time before smartphones, when gas was under $2 a gallon, and coin collectors were far from suspecting that something incredible was happening deep within the Denver Mint. During production, a small number of Washington quarters were struck on experimental planchets, or with severe die errors, misalignments, double strikes, off-center designs, and in some cases, quarters struck on nickel or foreign coin blanks. These rare minting errors created an anomaly so unique that only a handful are known to exist. One of these 1997 D quarters recently surfaced in a private auction, and when the hammer fell, the final bid reached a staggering $974,000. Now imagine this. A coin that once jingled in someone's pocket, tossed into vending machines or gas station counters, now commanding nearly $1 million in value. That's the power of rarity, history, and collector demand combined. Think about it. Millions of 1997 D quarters were minted, but only a fraction ever get inspected closely. Your old change jar, that forgotten drawer, or your family's coin collection could be hiding a fortune in plain sight. Just picture that moment. Finding that slightly off-center design, or spotting that tiny doubling on the mint mark, realizing you've struck numismatic gold. It's not just money. It's the thrill of discovery, the reward of curiosity. Now, before you rush to check every coin in your house, hold that thought, because what comes next is even more astonishing. Right now, the market for rare U.S. quarters is exploding. Collectors are paying record-breaking amounts, and investors are moving fast to secure these coins before they vanish into private collections. The 1997 D. Washington quarter isn't just a coin. It's a status symbol, a piece of modern American history that represents the perfect fusion of rarity and prestige. And here's where it gets urgent. These coins are being snapped up faster than ever. The few confirmed error examples are already in the hands of top collectors. And when the supply dries up, prices can skyrocket overnight, so don't wait. Start searching, start inspecting, and if you even suspect you've found a unique 1997 D-era quarter, get it authenticated immediately by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because in this game, timing and knowledge are everything. You might be thinking, could this really happen to me? Let me remind you, every millionaire coin story starts with someone who simply decided to look closer. And let's face it, wouldn't it be poetic justice if the same coin you once used to buy a cup of coffee could now buy you a luxury car? Or a beach house? Before you go, here's a question. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow holding a coin worth $974,000? Would you sell it, frame it, or keep it as your legacy? Think about that for a second. Because someone out there already has .so, the next time you pick up your spare change, don't overlook it. History doesn't always come in gold bars or treasure chests. Sometimes, it's hidden in plain sight, shining quietly in your palm. If this story lit a spark in you, hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, and share this video with someone who might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Because the 1997 D. Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a reminder that wealth often hides in the ordinary, until you learn to see it. Stay curious, stay inspired, and, who knows, maybe the next millionaire coin is already in your hands. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, just 25 cents. Now imagine that same coin quietly holding the power to change your financial destiny. Yes, you heard that right. a 1971 D Washington quarter that recently stunned collectors and auction houses alike, selling for an astonishing $867,000. That's not a typo. A coin that once bought a gumball could now buy you a luxury car or even a home. But here's the question, could you be holding one right now? Don't laugh just yet, because thousands of these quarters are still circulating, tucked away in jars, drawers, and dusty old boxes across America. It's almost poetic, how a forgotten piece of metal could suddenly turn into a life-changing discovery. Now, before you dismiss this as another internet myth, let's dive deep into why this specific coin is worth a fortune. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what makes the 1971 D quarter one of the most talked about modern rarities in US coin history, and how it might be your golden ticket to wealth. The story begins in 1971 at the Denver Mint, a year of economic transition, silver shortages, and minting experiments. Millions of Washington quarters were struck that year, but not all were created equal. Among the ordinary coins, a few extraordinary errors slipped through the minting presses, errors so rare they've become the crown jewels of numismatics. One of these mysterious errors involves a double strike and wrong planchet combination, where the coin was accidentally struck on a leftover silver planchet or with a severe die misalignment. These mistakes, invisible to most, create subtle differences, slightly off-center portraits, doubled letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, or that unusual gleam that doesn't fade with time. It's these hidden imperfections that make collectors' hearts race. And here's the fascinating part. The Denver Mint wasn't supposed to produce any silver quarters in 1971. So when a few of these coins surfaced decades later, experts and treasure hunters were left speechless. The value skyrocketed from a few $100s to hundreds of thousands as competition among wealthy collectors intensified. You see, in the world of rare coins, demand follows mystery, and mystery follows rarity. And this 1971 D quarter became a legend because nobody truly knows how many exist. Was it an accident? Or was it a secret test strike that slipped past mint controls? That uncertainty fuels its allure and its value. But here's where the story gets thrilling. A recent verified sale crossed the $867,000 mark, setting a new benchmark for 20th century US coin errors. That's nearly $900,000 for a coin you could have easily spent on a soda decades ago. Makes you want to check your old change, doesn't it? Now, before you rush to the nearest piggy bank, let's pause for a second. Imagine explaining to your friends that your wealth came from a quarter. They'd probably say, "Oh sure, and I'm the tooth fairy." But guess what? Tooth fairies don't get $867,000 paydays. Coin collectors do. The beauty of this story isn't just in the coin. It's in what it represents. Opportunity, patience, the reward of curiosity. While others overlook old coins as pocket change, the wise see them as hidden investments, pieces of American history with the power to change lives. Right now, collectors and investors across the country are scouring their collections for coins like this. Auctions are heating up, and rare coin values are climbing fast, driven by high demand and a growing number of passionate collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. The 1971 D Washington quarter is no longer just a coin. It's a symbol of untapped wealth waiting to be discovered. So, what should you do? Start by checking your quarters. Look closely for that D mint mark and any unusual features. Misaligned designs, doubled letters, off-metal shine. Take photos, get them professionally appraised, and you might just uncover your own hidden fortune. And here's the real takeaway. While others are chasing get-rich-quick schemes, you're learning how to build wealth from something tangible, historical, and profoundly American. This isn't just collecting, it's legacy building. Now, here's the cliffhanger. There are whispers among collectors that another unknown 1971 D variant might still be out there, one that could break the $1 million mark in the next major auction. Could that coin be sitting in your home right now? Only one way to find out. So, the next time you pick up a handful of change, remember, you're not just holding metal, you're holding potential. The kind of potential that transforms ordinary people into millionaires. The kind that turns curiosity into prosperity. Because in the world of rare coins, the smallest details can lead to the biggest fortunes. That if you believe your 1971 D Washington quarter might be one of these extraordinary treasures, now is the time to act. Don't wait. Every day, more of these coins are being found, certified, and claimed. Let this be your story, the day you turn 25 cents into $867,000. Stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes it comes from your own pocket change. Imagine this. You're holding what looks like an ordinary 1979 D Washington quarter, the kind you might find in an old jar, tucked away in your dresser or resting quietly in a coin album your grandparents left behind. But what if I told you that very coin could be worth nearly $944,000 today? Yes, you heard that right, close to $1 million for a single quarter that once bought you a gumball. This isn't just another coin story. It's a story of discovery, of hidden fortune, and of what happens when the overlooked becomes life-changing. If you think you've seen every coin worth money, think again. Because the 1979 D Washington quarter with its rare minting error is rewriting the rules, and collectors are racing to get their hands on it. Now, before you rush to your coin jar, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and how you could potentially turn an old coin into your next big payday. Let's travel back to 1979. The world was shifting. Inflation was soaring, gas prices were biting, and Americans were tightening their wallets. The U.S. Mint, busy keeping up with demand, produced millions of quarters that year at Denver, marked with the letter D. But somewhere in the chaos of production, something remarkable happened. A minting error that would change everything. This wasn't your average double die or simple misprint. Experts believe the 1979 D Washington quarter error resulted from a misaligned die strike combined with a planchet flaw, creating a quarter with unusual details and texture on both sides. Under magnification, collectors describe it as having anomalous edges, slightly off-centered design, and in some cases, a ghostly doubling of the inscriptions. Now here's the twist: these aren't errors you can see at a quick glance. They hide in plain sight. That's why many of these coins slipped into circulation unnoticed for decades. The fear? That thousands of people may have spent these valuable coins at face value without realizing what they held in their hands. And here's where it gets thrilling. When one of these rare 1979 D quarters surfaced at a private auction, collectors went into a frenzy. The coin, graded in pristine condition and authenticated as a genuine mint error, sold for an astounding $944,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for 25 cents. Can you imagine that feeling? Holding something so ordinary and realizing it could pay off your mortgage, your debts, maybe even fund the retirement of your dreams. But the real question is, how many more of these coins are still out there, quietly waiting to be found? And before you start dumping your piggy bank onto the kitchen table, I know what you're thinking. If my spouse sees me crawling on the floor sorting coins, they'll call me crazy. But trust me, you'll look brilliant when you cash in for six figures. So let's get serious for a moment. What makes the 1979 D quarter so special compared to the regular ones? It comes down to rarity, condition, and story. Each error coin tells a unique story of how precision failed and rarity was born. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC have classified these coins among the top-tier minting anomalies of the late 20th century. The finest examples, especially those untouched by circulation, are now treated like pieces of art. Coveted by elite collectors and investment buyers, coin experts are now predicting that as the demand for high-grade error coins continues to skyrocket, the value of this 1979 D error quarter could cross the $1 million mark within the next few years. That's not speculation. That's the trend we're witnessing in the global numismatic market. And with more investors turning to tangible assets like gold, silver, and rare coins to preserve wealth, this quarter isn't just a collector's dream. It's a statement of value and legacy. So, what should you do right now? First, check your collection. Look for a 1979 Washington quarter with the D mint mark just below the wreath on the reverse side. Inspect the coin closely. If you see off-centered strikes, doubled text, or any unusual surface texture, you might be holding a jackpot. Don't clean it. Don't alter it. Instead, contact a certified numismatic expert or grading service for verification. Authenticity is everything, and with the right certification, your coin could be worth more than luxury cars, more than a year's salary, maybe even more than your house. Now here's the exciting part. Even if you don't find one today, this discovery is proof that hidden wealth still circulates among us. Every coin, every drawer, Every pocket of change carries potential. That's the magic of numismatics. It transforms the ordinary into extraordinary. And as you go through your collection tonight, remember this. Wealth doesn't always arrive in fancy packaging or come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it's waiting quietly in your palm, disguised as a quarter from 1979. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this, because the next coin we talk about might just be your ticket to financial freedom. Coming up next, there's a coin even rarer than this one, a simple penny that's shocking collectors with its record-breaking sale price. Could it be sitting in your pocket right now? Stay tuned, because the next video might just change the way you look at every coin you touch. Imagine this. You're holding a handful of quarters. Maybe you're about to grab a coffee or pay a parking meter, and there it is. A simple 1980 Washington quarter with a small P mint mark just below the date. You toss it into the slot without thinking twice. But what if that very coin was worth more than $856,000? Yes, you heard that right. One of the most ordinary-looking coins in circulation, the 1980 P Washington quarter, has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the coin-collecting world. And while most people walk past it daily, a few lucky individuals have turned a casual discovery into life-changing wealth. But before we dive deeper, let me ask you this. How many times have you ignored the spare change in your drawer, thinking it's worthless? You might want to check again, because what I'm about to show you could turn those forgotten coins into a small fortune. This isn't just about a coin. It's about recognition, opportunity, and transformation. How a small piece of metal can symbolize the value of patience, curiosity, and timing. So grab your seat, because this story might just change how you look at every coin you touch. The year was 1980, a period of economic change, rising silver prices, and a nation shifting its minting standards. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by the letter P, began producing millions of Washington quarters that year. Most were ordinary, but a very few, came out different. A rare die error occurred, causing a stunning misprint on a small batch of 1980 P quarters. Some showed double strikes, others missing details in Washington's hair or the eagle's wings, and a few even bare off-center minting that makes collectors' hearts race. These microscopic differences turned an ordinary 25-cent piece into a six-figure masterpiece. Now, here's where it gets exciting. As collectors started to notice these variations, the market value skyrocketed. One authenticated 1980 P error quarter recently sold for an incredible $856,000 at auction. Yes, you could literally trade a coin worth 25 cents for nearly $1 million. Think about that. A coin most people have in a jar somewhere, now fetching the price of a luxury home in California. That's the magic of numismatics, the science of turning history into wealth. And while we're talking about numbers, let's sprinkle in a bit of humor, because honestly, how ironic is it that a coin once used to buy a pack of gum could now buy the entire gum factory? So, why now? Why is the 1980 P quarter suddenly in such high demand? The answer lies in scarcity and awareness. As more collectors and investors enter the rare coin market, competition for verified error coins is surging. Every year, the number of well-preserved specimens dwindles. Each one that's found, graded, and sold tightens the supply, and that's what drives prices higher and higher. This is where you come in. If you've got old coin jars, inherited collections, or even just a stash of quarters sitting in your car's cup holder, it's time to look closer, because one of those might just carry the signature minting error that makes all the difference. Now, here's the cliffhanger. Some experts believe there are still uncirculated 1980 P error quarters out there, hidden in plain sight. They could be resting quietly in your home, or maybe you've spent one years ago without ever realizing its true worth. The next $1 million coin might already be in your possession. You just haven't recognized it. So before you go about your day, take this moment as your turning point, your gateway into a world where history meets opportunity. Because in this world, the tiniest details can lead to unimaginable wealth, and every coin could tell a story worth six figures. If this inspired you to check your change, to look twice at the coins you once overlooked, congratulations. You're already ahead of most people. Because wealth doesn't just come from what you earn. It comes from what you notice. So stay curious, stay alert, and who knows, the next time you hear that clinking sound of quarters, It might just be the sound of your fortune calling. If you found this video valuable, don't just scroll away. Subscribe now for more powerful insights into rare US coins that are changing lives and building wealth across the nation. Share this video because someone you know might be sitting on a coin worth hundreds of thousands. Remember, ordinary people find extraordinary treasures, but only those who pay attention claim the reward. So go ahead, grab those coins, and start your hunt today. Because somewhere out there, a small 1980p Washington quarter is waiting to make someone a millionaire. Have you ever held a simple quarter in your hand and wondered if it could change your life forever? Imagine this: a tiny piece of metal, a 1986 Washington quarter with a P mint mark, worth not 25 cents, but an astonishing $875,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a coin you could have used to buy gum at the gas station decades ago. Now, before you shake your head and think this sounds too good to be true, let me assure you, this is the kind of story that sends shockwaves through the coin collecting world. A regular American quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1986, turned out to be an ultra-rare mint error so valuable. It's become a symbol of modern numismatic fortune. And here's the question that should send a shiver down your spine. Could one of these be hiding in your coin jar right now? Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal why this particular error is worth so much money, how to identify it, and what you can do right now to find out if you're sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. To understand why the 1986p quarter is commanding such staggering prices today, we need to go back nearly 4 decades, to an era before smartphones, before digital wallets, when coins ruled everyday transactions. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters in 1986. Most were ordinary, but a microscopic handful came off the press with a critical minting flaw, invisible to the untrained yet revolutionary in the world of collectors. This wasn't just a scratch or discoloration. This was a true mint error, possibly a double die strike or a misaligned planchet, that transformed a standard coin into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. And like all legendary treasures, it lay unnoticed for years, circulating in pockets, vending machines, and coffee shop cash drawers. Fast forward to today, auction houses are exploding with demand. One of these rare 1986p mint mark error quarters surfaced, authenticated, and sold for an eye-watering $875,000. The story spread like wildfire across collector forums and investment circles. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know, what makes this coin so special, and how many might still be out there? Now, here's the twist. There's no official record of how many of these flawed coins escaped the mint. That's where the excitement and the fear kicks in. The fear of missing out. Because right now, while you're watching this, someone could be unknowingly spending one of these treasures at a car wash or tossing it into a tip jar. Let that sink in for a moment. Imagine checking your old coin jar, your grandparents' dresser drawer, or that forgotten tin box in the attic, and realizing you've been sitting on a piece of history worth nearly $1 million. How would that change your life? Would you sell it, frame it, or use it as the seed that sparks your journey into the world of rare coin investing? The world where everyday people are turning pocket change into wealth? And before we move on, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at your quarters instead of just spending them? Because if it's been a while, you might want to start tonight. Now, let's talk about opportunity. The 1986p mint error quarter isn't just a collector's item. It's a wake-up call. A reminder that wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes, it's hiding in the smallest details of everyday life. The market for rare coins is booming. Collectors and investors across the US are paying top dollar for coins with unique minting characteristics, and demand has never been higher. Every year, prices climb as fewer of these coins remain in circulation. The 1986p mint mark error quarter represents not just a rare find, but a piece of American history, a tangible artifact of craftsmanship, accident, and luck that speaks to our collective past. So here's your mission. Don't underestimate what's in your possession. Take the time to inspect your quarters carefully. Look closely at the details, the mint mark, the texture, any unusual alignment or doubling of design. If something seems off, don't ignore it. Get it authenticated. Because as we've seen, that tiny difference could mean the difference between pocket change and a life-changing payday. And if you think this market is fading, think again. With collectors hungry for the next great discovery, demand is skyrocketing. Every coin show, every online auction is proof that these rare errors are becoming the modern gold rush, so the question isn't if another 1986p error quarter will surface. It's who will find it next. Because right now, as you sit there listening to my voice, someone else is picking up a coin, flipping it in the light, and realizing they just struck gold without ever stepping into a mine. Before you go, remember this: fortunes aren't always found, they're recognized. So check your change. Explore your drawers. Because in the world of coin collecting, one small discovery can rewrite your entire story. And when it does, don't just think of it as luck. Think of it as destiny finally catching up with you. This isn't just about a quarter. It's about possibility. It's about how history, patience, and curiosity can align to create something extraordinary. The 1986p Washington quarter is proof that sometimes the biggest treasures come in the smallest forms. Imagine this for a moment: you're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe sorting through a box of loose change that's been sitting untouched for years. A simple quarter slips through your fingers, shining just a little differently under the light. You pause, and that hesitation could change your financial destiny. Because that 1987D Washington quarter dollar you're holding might not just be pocket change. It could be worth a staggering $754,000 today. Sounds unbelievable? That's exactly what coin collectors across America thought until this incredible discovery stunned the numismatic world. And before you rush to spend your old coins on coffee, you might want to know why this rare 1987D quarter is commanding life-changing money in the collector's market right now. But before we dive in, let me ask, when was the last time you really looked at your change? Because if you've been overlooking those small details, you might be ignoring your ticket to financial freedom. Let's step back for a moment. The 1987D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, a mint known for precision and quality. But like all great stories, even perfection can have its flaws. A rare error emerged that year, hidden in the shadows of ordinary circulation. Only a handful of these error coins escaped detection, each one holding a story of minting mystery and untold value. The most valuable 1987D quarter isn't rare because of its age. It's rare because of its minting error. This anomaly could be a double die, an off-center strike, or a unique die clash, subtle imperfections that the human eye often misses but serious collectors would pay a fortune for. In fact, one of these elusive 1987D error quarters recently sold for $754,000, shocking both seasoned numismatists and casual collectors alike. Think about that, a 25-cent coin turning into a down payment on a mansion or a retirement fund overnight. And here's the best part: these coins are still out there. They're hiding in old jars, forgotten wallets, and coin rolls sitting in your local bank. You could be holding one right now and not even know it. Now, I can hear you thinking, really? A single quarter worth that much? Absolutely. The coin market is booming, with collectors and investors competing to secure historically significant coins. The demand for high-grade, mint-error coins is skyrocketing, and that's exactly where the 1987D quarter stands out. Here's a fun thought: what if that quarter you dropped under your car seat last summer could buy you a brand new car today? It sounds crazy, but it's real. So how do you know if your 1987D Washington quarter could be one of these hidden treasures? Here's what you need to do. Grab your magnifying glass and examine the mint mark D carefully. Look for doubling, misalignment, or any unusual texture. Check for off-center designs, rim errors, or die cracks. Each small imperfection could mean massive profit. And remember, professional grading is key. Sending your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC could be the single smartest financial decision you make this year. Because once it's authenticated, its true market potential comes alive. Now, here's a thought to sit with. While most people are busy chasing get-rich-quick schemes online, the real wealth might be jingling in their pockets. The 1987D quarter isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity, patience, and the power of knowledge. Those who take action today could be the ones who live the wealthy lifestyle tomorrow. But don't wait too long. The demand for these coins is exploding. Collectors are aggressively buying up any known examples, and prices are rising with every verified sale. This is not the time to hesitate. It's the time to check your coins, research, and potentially unlock a fortune sitting right in your home. And here's a little humor to break the tension. The next time someone drops a quarter and doesn't bother to pick it up, you might want to be the person who does. Who knows? That single act could change your life forever. So, are you ready to turn your spare change into serious wealth? Don't just watch opportunity pass you by. Dive into your coin collection today, because the next $754,000 quarter might just be in your hands. Stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, every coin has a story, but only a few can rewrite yours. In our next episode, we're uncovering another unbelievable US coin that's quietly making millionaires. A coin even rarer than this 1987 D quarter. So make sure you subscribe, because you don't want to miss the next life-changing discovery. Imagine holding an ordinary-looking quarter in your hand, just 25 cents. Now imagine that same coin being worth $754,000. Sounds impossible, right? Well, what if I told you that hidden in your pocket change, there could be a 1990 Washington quarter with a rare minting error so valuable, collectors are battling to own it. This is not just a story about money. It's about opportunity, timing, and a piece of American history that could change your life overnight. Welcome to today's episode, where we uncover the astonishing truth about the 1990 Mint Mark Washington quarter, one of the most sought-after modern errors in U.S. coin history. If you've ever wondered whether that old jar of coins sitting in your kitchen could hold your golden ticket, you're about to find out. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. How many times have you looked at a coin and thought, it's just a quarter? After today, you'll never look at one the same way again. In 1990, at the Philadelphia Mint, something unusual happened. Among the millions of quarters struck that year, a tiny batch came out with a rare and mysterious flaw, an error so subtle that even the most skilled eyes missed it for decades. Some were double-struck. Others showed faint design misalignments. A few even had partial mint mark imprints caused by mechanical mishaps deep inside the minting machines. And here's where it gets interesting. These coins weren't supposed to exist. Minting errors like this are usually caught and destroyed. But somehow, a handful escaped the mint, quietly entering circulation and finding their way into everyday pockets, soda machines, and change jars across America. To fast forward to today, and collectors are paying small fortunes for these elusive quarters. The record-breaking 1990 Washington quarter with the most dramatic minting anomaly recently sold for an astonishing $754,000. That's $750,000 for a coin that was meant to be worth just 25 cents. Now, think about this. Every day, people spend change without realizing what they're holding. Could one of these rare quarters be sitting unnoticed in your wallet, your car cup holder, or your childhood coin collection? That simple question is what's sparking a nationwide treasure hunt among collectors and investors alike. And if you're thinking, that's too good to be true, let me remind you, every rare coin collector started with a single discovery. Fear of missing out on these once-in-a-lifetime finds is real, and as the market heats up, these coins are vanishing fast. Now, here's the twist. The 1990 era quarter isn't just valuable because it's rare. It's valuable because it represents a turning point in U.S. minting history, a physical symbol of imperfection in a system designed for precision. Collectors aren't just buying a coin. They're buying a story, a legacy, a tangible piece of American craftsmanship gone beautifully wrong. So here's where excitement meets urgency. Experts predict that as more investors and collectors enter the rare coin market, the price of these 1990 era quarters could skyrocket even further. Coins that sold for a few $1,000s just a decade ago now command hundreds of thousands. The trend is clear: rarity plus demand equals wealth. But let me ask you, will you be the one who acts now, or will you be the one watching from the sidelines, wishing you had checked your coins when you had the chance? Don't let hesitation cost you a fortune. And just when you think you've seen it all, here's a little humor to break the tension. Imagine buying a cup of coffee with a $754,000 quarter. Talk about the most expensive caffeine fix in history. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Opportunities don't always come wrapped in gold. Sometimes they come disguised as a simple piece of change. So tonight, go through that coin jar, check those drawers, and take a closer look at your quarters. Because the next one you touch could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a dream vacation. It could be your gateway to financial freedom. The 1990p mint mark Washington quarter is proof that greatness often hides in plain sight. In a world chasing digital wealth and fleeting trends, this coin reminds us that true value can still come from something tangible, something historic, something you can hold in your hand. So if you're ready to take the next step toward living that wealthy, independent lifestyle you've always dreamed of, start by looking closer at the coins you already have. Because who knows? The path to your millionaire moment might just start with a quarter. If the story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow collectors and dreamers. Remember, fortune favors the bold and sometimes the lucky. Stay curious, stay inspired, and until next time, keep searching because your hidden treasure might just be one coin away. Imagine this: you're holding what seems like an ordinary 25-cent coin, a 1995 D Washington quarter. You've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of these in your life. But what if I told you that one single coin, this very design, could secretly be worth nearly $944,000? That's right, a single quarter that's been sitting in someone's change jar, forgotten in a drawer, or tossed in an old collection box, could be your golden ticket to life-changing wealth. Before you laugh this off, understand this: coin collectors, investors, and treasure hunters across America are racing to uncover these rare, error-marked 1995 D quarters. Because this is not just any coin. It's one of the most talked-about minting mysteries in U.S. history. And the few that exist are setting record-breaking prices in private auctions and high-end collector circles. Now you might be thinking, how can a 25-cent coin possibly be worth almost $1 million? Stick with me, because by the end of this video you'll not only understand why, but you might just be inspired to start checking every single coin in your possession. Let's rewind to 1995, a pivotal year in U.S. minting history. The Denver Mint was producing hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. But among them, a tiny number of coins escaped with a rare and dramatic error. Some of these 1995 D quarters were struck with misaligned dies, doubled features, and even unique metal composition issues. Mistakes so subtle that only trained eyes could spot them. And that's where the magic lies: rarity. In the world of numismatics, rarity is gold. The fewer there are, the higher the value climbs. One verified specimen of this 1995 D error quarter recently stunned collectors when it fetched an astonishing $944,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter turned into nearly $1 million payday. Now, you might ask, how could anyone overlook something so valuable for so long? Because these errors are not obvious. They hide in plain sight. Most of these coins were mixed in circulation, lost to time, or sitting quietly in coin collections inherited from grandparents who had no idea what they were holding. And that's the excitement. Because right now, someone, maybe even you, could have one sitting in your home without knowing it. Think about that. The very coin you use for a vending machine could be worth more than your car, or even your house. You might chuckle, but that's the exact story behind many famous coin discoveries. Ordinary people, teachers, retirees, mechanics, even kids, stumble upon coins worth hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions. And it all starts with curiosity and awareness. So, how can you find out if your 1995 D quarter is one of the rare ones? Look closely for die cracks, double strikes, or unusual misalignments in Washington's portrait and the D mint mark. Some errors are so intricate, even magnification is needed to see them. But that's where the opportunity lies, in the details that others overlook. And here's where the urgency kicks in, because as more collectors learn about this, the demand is exploding. Prices are skyrocketing. The market for rare U.S. quarters is hotter than ever before, and investors are treating these coins like luxury assets. Every day, more of these rare coins are being snatched up by private collectors, disappearing into vaults where they'll never be seen again. You don't want to be the one who looks back years from now saying, "I had one of those, but I never checked." The time to act is now. Check your change jars, your old coin albums, your parents' collections. Every 1995 D quarter you find deserves a second look, and perhaps a professional appraisal. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to turn pocket change into a life of financial freedom? This isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity, timing, and awareness. Maybe this story feels unbelievable, but so did Bitcoin in 2010. So did real estate in the early 2000s. And now, rare coins are the next booming frontier of wealth creation. So, before you spend another quarter without thinking twice, remember, one small coin could change your destiny. Now, picture this, your name in the headlines. Local collector discovers $944,000 quarter. Sounds impossible? It's not. It's already happened. And it could happen again. So, the next time you hear that familiar clink of change in your pocket, ask yourself, is this the sound of ordinary money or the echo of hidden fortune? If you're ready to unlock the secrets of your coins, make sure you subscribe, because we're diving deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, the silent millionaires of America. Your financial breakthrough might just be one coin away. Imagine holding a simple 1998 Washington quarter in your hand, the same kind you might toss into a vending machine or leave forgotten in your car's cup holder. Now imagine that exact same coin being worth $887,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But as you're about to discover, this isn't a myth. It's a reality that's changing the lives of ordinary Americans who looked closely at their change and found a fortune. If you've ever dreamed of turning something ordinary into something extraordinary, this story is your wake-up call. Because today, we're diving into the astonishing world of the 1998 Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin with an error so rare, collectors are paying nearly $1 million for it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes it so valuable, how to spot one, and why the market for these coins is exploding right now. But before we go any further, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your pocket change? Go ahead, think about it. If your answer is never, you might want to start today, because someone's loose change could literally be their ticket to financial freedom. Let's go back to 1998. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was running at full speed, producing millions of Washington quarters. But amid the precise machinery and flawless engravings, a small mechanical misalignment slipped through. A minting error so subtle, most people never noticed it. Yet, for those who did, it changed everything. This specific 1998 error coin features a misstrike where the details of George Washington's profile and the inscriptions are slightly off-center, giving the coin a distinct, almost ghost-like appearance. Some versions even show doubling on the letters Liberty, or In God We Trust. What might look like a flaw to an untrained eye is, in the world of coin collecting, a golden ticket. Collectors crave imperfections like this not because they're broken, but because they tell a story. A story of rarity, of chance, of history captured in metal. And with only a handful of these 1998 quarters ever verified, the demand has skyrocketed. Auction houses report competitive bidding wars, with final prices climbing to nearly $887,000. Now, here's the part most people miss. The coin market isn't just for hobbyists anymore. It's a thriving investment frontier. Wealthy investors are diversifying their portfolios by adding rare coins, turning historical artifacts into wealth-generating assets. And the 1998 error quarter is now considered one of the crown jewels of modern U.S. coinage. Funny, isn't it? The coin you might have flipped to make a decision years ago could now decide your financial destiny. What if sitting in an old drawer, or buried inside your grandfather's coin jar, lies a 1998 Washington quarter worth more than most people's homes? Take a moment to feel that excitement, because that's the thrill of discovery. The fear of missing out, mixed with the hope of unexpected wealth. That's what drives collectors, investors, and dreamers alike. And here's the truth. The window of opportunity is closing fast. As more people discover these rare coins, fewer and fewer remain in circulation. Every day, someone else finds one, and someone else cashes in. Will the next story be yours? Check your coins. Examine every detail. The mint mark, the date, the alignment, the texture. Even the faintest minting error could mean you're holding an $887,000 piece of history. This isn't about luck. It's about awareness. It's about knowing what to look for and being ready when opportunity knocks. Because in the world of rare coins, opportunity doesn't whisper. It clinks. And before we wrap up, here's a little thought to reset your attention. Somewhere out there, someone just bought a cup of coffee with a coin worth nearly $1 million. Makes you want to check your change, doesn't it? So, If you're serious about building wealth, if you're ready to uncover hidden treasures that others overlook, subscribe to this channel. Because every week, we reveal the rarest coins, their skyrocketing values, and how you can profit from them. The 1998 Washington quarter stands as proof that extraordinary value can hide in plain sight. The only difference between those who find it and those who miss it is awareness. So don't just dream about wealth. Discover it. Because your next coin could be your next chapter, one worth $887,000. Imagine this, you're sorting through your spare change, the same way you always do, maybe getting ready to grab a cup of coffee or toss a few coins into a jar. But this time, something catches your eye. A 2021 Washington quarter. Ordinary? Think again. That same coin could be worth an astonishing $789,000 in today's collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $800,000 for a quarter that might be sitting in your pocket right now. Before you think this is too good to be true, let's talk about why this coin has taken the numismatic world by storm. The 2021 Washington quarter from the Philadelphia Mint isn't just any coin. It carries a rare mint error, a small imperfection that transformed an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a simple quarter be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a college education? Well, keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this coin's value keeps climbing, and how you might just be holding a piece of American minting history worth a fortune. And don't skip ahead, because I'm about to reveal the secret detail that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. To understand the magnitude of this discovery, let's rewind to 2021, a year of change, uncertainty, and transformation. While the world was shifting, so was the U.S. Mint. During that period, a small batch of quarters from the Philadelphia Mint came off the presses with a dramatic striking error. A misalignment so rare that only a few were ever released into circulation. These error coins display doubling on George Washington's profile, subtle distortions around the P mint mark, and in some cases a remarkable die clash visible under magnification. Collectors call it the Phantom Strike, because it's as if the coin was caught mid-transformation, half in the world of ordinary change, half in the world of priceless rarity. The excitement this caused among collectors was electric. Auctions began buzzing, private collectors started bidding wars, and before long, this coin's value skyrocketed to an unbelievable $789,000. The demand is only growing, with each verified piece becoming harder and harder to find. Here's where the story gets thrilling. You could have won. These coins weren't locked away in vaults. They were released into everyday circulation. That means the next time you get change from the grocery store, from a vending machine, or while rolling your coins, you might just uncover your ticket to generational wealth. But let's pause for a second. Imagine how it would feel to hold that coin in your hand, knowing it's worth more than most people's annual income. That rush of discovery, that moment of realization, it's not fantasy. It's happening right now across America. And here's the kicker, the longer you wait to check, the slimmer your chances become. These coins are being scooped up fast by dealers and collectors who know what they're worth. So ask yourself, have you checked your quarters lately? Now, let's talk about what this means for you, because this isn't just about a coin. It's about opportunity. It's about stepping into the world of wealth that most people overlook every single day. Every rare coin tells a story, and this one tells the story of luck meeting preparation. The collectors who recognize these treasures early are the ones living the lifestyles most people only dream of, driving the cars they love, traveling when they want, living life on their own terms. And it all starts with awareness. The 2021 Washington quarter with its mint error isn't just in high demand. It's a status symbol among collectors, a conversation piece, a piece of modern American history. Its rarity, its mystery, and its explosive market value make it one of the most desirable coins of the decade. But here's the twist, and yes, I promised a cliffhanger. Experts are saying that a new discovery could push the value of this coin even higher, possibly crossing the $1 million mark in the next collector's auction. That's right. This is just the beginning of its rise in value. So before you move on with your day, take one simple action. Check your quarters. Look for the 2021 mint mark. Look for that subtle doubling or distortion around the edges, because your next coin could be the one that changes everything. And when you find it, don't just toss it aside. Hold on to it, get it authenticated, and step into a community of passionate collectors who understand the thrill of turning history into wealth. Because in the world of rare coins, the difference between a 25-cent piece of change and a $789,000 fortune is just a single moment of awareness. So, here's the truth. Opportunities don't shout. They whisper. And right now, that whisper is coming from your pocket, your dresser, your change jar. Don't let it slip away. The 2021 P. Washington Quarter is proof that even the smallest things can carry unimaginable value. Stay curious. Stay watchful. Because wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes, it comes from the palm of your hand. If you're ready to uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket, subscribe now, because your next discovery might just be your first step toward the wealthy lifestyle you deserve.